Time now for a special edition of Encounter here on Bott Radio Network. Here is Oklahoma Regional Manager Joseph Palmer.
The voice on the phone may sound exactly like your grandchild. The caller ID may display your credit union's real number, and the person contacting you may already know enough about your life to sound completely legitimate. Today's scammers aren't merely asking for money, they're manufacturing fear, urgency, and trust. So how can you recognize the deception before it's too late? Today we're talking with Communication Federal Credit Union about the scams targeting families and seniors and what you can do to protect yourself and those you love before the next call, text, or email arrives. So to help us do that today are a couple of experts in our local community by the names of Heather Converse, who is the Vice President of Compliance here for Communication Federal Credit Union. Welcome, Heather.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. And we also have Serena Campbell. And both of these ladies, by the way, have been on before, so should be no stranger to you. Serena Campbell is the Senior Community Development Representative. So welcome, Serena.
Thank you.
And we also have my associate here at the station, Quentin Sawatsky, to help us today. So welcome, Quentin.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
You are
always
very
excited to be able to talk with people from Communication Federal Credit Union.
Absolutely. And I might add, since you mentioned that they are a sponsor of our
Pastor's Appreciation Lunch.
Exactly, and 50th anniversary celebration this year. So that's coming up in October. You guys can have deep conversations with these guys when you attend our event. So let's get right to it. The topic today goes right to stewardship. Okay, if we don't have money, if it gets all stolen, we don't have anything to steward and give away to people. So let me ask you this. Are there particular scams? I mean, probably most of our listeners have heard of the idea of scamming in this way, especially with AI. But are there particular scams you're seeing right now that intelligent, financially experienced people consistently underestimate?
Yes. So you mentioned it whenever in your opening. Those text messages, those phone calls, those emails that you get pretending to be your financial institution. It looks like us, it sounds like us, and they do have enough information to make you believe that it's actually us. There are things, though, that during those phone calls or those text messages that they will ask for that we will never. They have asked for username and passwords to your online banking. We will never ask for that. If something goes wrong with that and we need to reset it for you, that's a thing. But we will never ask you for it, in the guise of that we may use it. So they need that so that they can log on to your account. The other thing that has happened quite a lot recently that has been shocking is they're more often taking over your device. So they call, they say, it's Communications Federal. We have seen some fraud on your account. We need to secure your funds. And in order to do that, I need you to allow me access to your device. They download an app. The app goes on your phone, and they'll even take it one step further so that you lose complete control of your phone. They'll put what's called call forwarding on your phone. So they'll have you put in a series of digits, maybe pound 2122. I've heard various combinations of those numbers, but when someone calls you, it goes straight to them. So it's when we might send a code, a verification code, to later get you back online, they get the code. Mm-hmm. So they maintain control of your online banking.
Wow. So two-factor authentication is not as secure as we once thought.
No, not if you allow access to your device. And the only way to get rid of that is to take that to a trusted professional that can look at your computer or your phone. I have learned that your carrier is probably not the best person to take it to. So even though I wouldn't want to, promote or advertise one particular person, but we're thinking about like the Geek Squad, someone like that can get in there and recognize those malicious apps and get those off your phone.
And that's something everybody can remember. And there are plenty of them around.
There's plenty of them around.
Okay.
So when they send the code, like if they send it to me, do I still get it, or does it just bypass me and go directly?
It goes directly to them.
So I never get the code.
You never get the code.
Wow.
Yeah. That's something that has been a challenge recently.
Interesting.
So And I know I've heard these stories. A lot of times scammers will try to create an urgent crisis. Yes. Quentin and I, we do some voice acting for radio commercials and stuff like that, theater of the mind, that sort of thing. But we are probably nothing compared to the scammers that are going after seniors and impersonating grandchildren, or sometimes it's an artificial, right? So what happens psychologically in that moment that causes cautious people otherwise, to abandon their cautiousness?
I think it's just for one, it's inconvenient. So you don't want anything to be wrong with your account. You don't want to lose money. And they instill this fear that if you don't act quickly, then something's going to happen. You're going to lose all your money. Mm-hmm. So, they're relying on your sense of urgency and for you to act quickly, and not to, take a breath, take a pause. Let's hang up with that person that you're talking to that's posing as your financial institution, and let's look at the internet, find a number, a trusted number, and call them back. Mm-hmm. Or, if you're getting a call about an unauthorized charge, hang up with them, log into your online banking. Don't give them your credentials. Log in yourself and see, is there really something there? I've done that multiple times where I'll get, emails from Amazon that I've got a package that won't be delivered or whatever. Mm-hmm. And even I cannot resist to think, well, I order stuff from Amazon all the time, and I don't want to be inconvenienced. I don't want my package to be delayed. So I'll go to my Amazon account and look and see, is there a message for me? And if there's not, just delete it.
My wife texted me yesterday that she received a call from the OKC sheriff regarding one of my daughters. And my first thought is there's no such thing as an OKC sheriff. It's the Oklahoma County Sheriff, Oklahoma City. I'm like, this is a scam, honey. Don't do anything, But,
it's funny how
safe.
They'll get those little tiny details wrong. So
it's the
little bitty things that are just wrong. You get those emails or those text messages, and it's not exactly right. There'll be extra letters or, extra symbols or something. Or it claims to be coming from Communication Federal Credit Union, but it's a Gmail or a Yahoo. We don't use Gmail and Yahoo. Right. So, there are always little bitty things that if you just stop and pause for a second, don't get in a hurry, don't rush, and just really look at it.
So if it says Communications Federal Credit Union,
that's probably not
S
us.
in there.
Yeah. People add that S all the time.
I know. Well, we've had that issue. We did that last year. Chris, your marketing people got on because I had listed as Communications Federal. He said, no, it's Communication Federal Credit Union. So.
Whenever I first started here 11 years ago, I recorded my voicemail for it wrong. I said Communications. My boss was like, that's not where you are. Uh-oh. Oh, no.
So this also wouldn't work if there was a fraud associated with, say, Mardell, because everybody around calls it, I'm going to go to the Mardells, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Mm-hmm. Either way.
The Walmarts. I've heard the Walmarts a lot.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, Serena, how are you involved in all of this?
How I'm involved is I go around and I try to stress to people about financial literacy. We go to different senior centers and talk to them about different issues that are happening and ways that they can protect their money and protect themselves. So knowledge is power. So just knowing more of what could come out or what could be in front of you. And so we try to help people see those things before they get there.
So I'm thinking some of these things are fairly, if you know to look for it, become aware, which is what you would do when you're at a seminar like that, helping seniors or whoever. All you have to have is the knowledge. So I'm thinking from the perspective of someone listening to this interview, if they just booked you for an appointment to talk to a group of people and planted those ideas in their minds, it could save them a lot of money and hardship.
Yes, I think so. Agree.
They don't even have to do anything. They just have to listen, right?
Right. Yeah, just listen to us. And we try to make it interesting, too. We have people like Heather come in and some other people from our fraud team, and they can kind of tell their stories because, you just don't even realize some of the stories. And that makes it, too, where people see it more in a light and they know what's happening and they realize, man, I got that same call. So,
So a lot of churches have senior adult programs that happen during the week. That would be a great opportunity for you guys to come in and tell the story.
Great idea.
And we talk to youth groups. I mean, we talk to high schoolers. We can go into different employers and talk with their staff as well when they have like staff meetings. And so,
who's easier to scam, Gen Zers or boomers?
I would say it's about equal now.
That's what I was
Is it
thinking.
really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Interesting.
It's just they've gotten so good at it. You know, it does not. You don't have to be deficient in mind in any way to fall for these scams. Really, really smart people, financial professionals, people who have worked all their lives in even a profession like mine have been scammed by these things. I saw on one of the national news channels a guy who always reports on fraud. He tells all the fraud stories. He got scammed. They talked him into going to his financial institution, withdrawing a lot of cash, and he was headed to a Bitcoin ATM with it, and then thought, "Wait a minute, this is not quite. This isn't, something's not right." But he wanted to tell the story, so he got on and he admitted that it had happened to him.
A lot of courage.
Yeah.
To be able to do
Yep.
that.
So that brings up a question. If somebody comes in, just like what you talked about, if a member walks into your credit union and says, I need to withdraw $30,000 because so-and-so told me to.
And they're like, it's my money. I'm going to do it.
What happens?
Well, a lot of the time, the scammers have already given them a story, too. They have prepared. We have started, we initiated with wire fraud and cash withdrawal fraud, a questionnaire. So our tellers above a certain amount are going to ask questions about why you're withdrawing the cash. We don't want to, violate your privacy, but it happens so often that someone will come and withdraw a large amount of cash. They'll head off to the crypto kiosk with it, and then they'll call us days later of, I figured it out. I've gotten scammed. How do I get my money back?
Right.
So we try our best not to let you leave with that cash. And, it sometimes is an uncomfortable situation because it is your money and you can do whatever you want with it.
Right.
But if we can offer any protection, we're going to try. So we're going to do our best. I will say that we don't save everybody, but we have quite a few.
It's very good to know.
So, we were talking about this before we went on the air, how some of the scammers make you go to your bank, but they keep me on the phone so I can hear what's going on.
Yes.
Is that obvious when somebody's carrying their phone and has somebody?
Yes.
Have you ever had that?
We have it all the time. We actually had someone come in. I don't know how long we have for a story, but I have a story.
Absolutely.
This last week.
Can I pause you for just 1 second, though? So we are talking with members of Communication Federal Credit Union, Heather Converse and Serena Campbell, and we're talking about scams, all the scams, because these ladies are the ones that deal with scams and train people on the scams. So, yes, please continue.
Okay. So this is an elaborate one, and this is really the first time I'd heard this. But after speaking with people in my position at other financial institutions in the metro area, they've experienced the same thing. So there was a couple, and they got a call and an email and a text message that something was wrong with their account. They start talking to these people, and they say, well, we're actually running an operation. We're the FBI, and the branch that you usually use is under investigation. They're handing out counterfeit cash in some cases. So what we need you to do, and it's funny you said $30,000 because it was actually $36,000 that they had them come. The wife was on FaceTime with the scammer, who was speaking perfect English. They really felt like it was a representative of the FBI in Oklahoma City. So the husband was told to wait in the car. She went into the branch, started asking, for the money. And we started asking all the questions, and, the scammer was getting irritated with this, and, it's none of their business. They don't need to know. Don't tell anybody, though, for sure, that who you're talking to. It's an investigation. It's got to be top secret. So the husband, sitting in the car, started to get nervous, and he thought, this can't be real. the FBI would not use citizens to investigate a financial institution of some sort of criminal activity.
Right.
So he comes running into the branch and said, "Stop. I think we're being scammed." And, she was like, "You're not supposed to tell anybody. This is supposed to, it's, we're in a sting operation here." But it ended up, we realized, that they had the person on the phone. We disconnected that call, but it was so elaborate. But she was going to do it, and he was going along with it to a point, and something just clicked and said, "This isn't right." But it has happened that they get the money, they take it back to their house, and the scammers will send a courier to pick up the funds and tell them, "We're going to take this away. Don't worry, though. Your money's insured, so you'll get every dime of it back. We just need to check and make sure if it's real."
Wow.
Interesting. Okay, so that's an interesting. Does that happen here in Oklahoma?
It did.
Oh, man.
It did.
All right. So, I know you guys said that Gen Z and boomers are about the same in terms of how their propensity to be scammed, but what can families do to protect it just on the aging parents' side without embarrassing them or making them feel like their independence is being taken away?
So what I do with my boomers, because my parents are definitely boomers, and I also have 2 grandfathers that are in their 90s. And, they have electronic banking. Everybody's got, doing their thing. I just try to tell them these stories. I try to reinforce that we will never ask for your username and password, that every phone call and every text does not warrant an answer. That it would be it's always a better idea to go directly to your bank's website, to research the number to call, to get a hold of someone in person. Just that constant reminder of nothing is that urgent. You do not have to act immediately. You can wait. Give me a call. Let's talk about it.
What a great thing to keep in your head. Nothing is that urgent.
Nothing is that urgent. They create that sense of urgency. That is how they do it. It's different than the scams where they talk to you for a very long time, gain your trust, maybe like a romance scam or something. These are quick act. You got to act fast. So, just slow down. Take a pause, take a break.
So here's me and my psychology. I see some shiny object on the internet, and I want to buy it, and I really want to buy it right now. But then something, it takes a little bit of time. Maybe it's 10 seconds, maybe a couple minutes, takes over, and I wait. That sounds too good to be true. Let me check ChatGPT and see if that's a scam that's been run. And 90% of the time it says, "Oh yeah, big time. Don't do that."
Isn't it great?
I know.
I love it. I love it's so much. It has so much information.
Exactly.
And gives so many real examples.
Yeah.
And then I wonder, can the other side use it too?
Of course, absolutely. Right.
Yes. So that's why things are becoming more and more believable. We've also figured out that the scammers know those questions that we're asking when people are withdrawing the large amounts of cash or trying to send a wire. So they come prepared almost with a script of answers to those questions, because every other financial institution that is experiencing this has come up with a questionnaire too. So they know. So we have to keep changing as they catch on.
Right.
So you've brought up a couple of different words throughout our conversation that, as I was researching this, there's common characteristics that scammers and fraud people use. First of all, they create create fear or excitement, which you've talked about. You're in trouble. Your bank account, that sort of deal. Or you've won the contest. So they create fear or excitement. They create urgency. You have to do this right now.
Yes.
They demand secrecy.
Yes.
Don't tell your family. Don't tell anybody. They impersonate someone you trust, like your grandkids or whatever, and then they tell you how to move the money. Those are the 5 characteristics that I've seen so far. Everything.
Urgency is the biggest. I think it's the biggest one. If they can create that urgency, and fear comes along with it. That is what they're going to play off of.
So let's go off the assumption that depending on where we air this interview, there could be 2,000 or 3,000 people within the average quarter hour that are going to hear it. Among that statistical sampling, there may be someone, probably is someone in there, who has been scammed. Can you give some instructions to someone that after they're scammed, they just feel bad about it, but what do they do? Like in the minute they know they've been scammed or suspect it. Well,
first of all, don't be embarrassed. You need to reach out to law enforcement. You need to, call your local law enforcement and make a police report if you've lost money. If it's recent, like within the day or two, even if it's within a week, contact your financial institution, especially if it has happened through your banking, because there may be something we can do. Now, if it's cash withdrawal that you've mailed the money somewhere or a courier's come and picked it up, your police report's going to be your best bet, and they'll do their best to investigate it. But if it has come out of your account in another way, you've got to let us know so that we can try to work on what we can do to recoup.
So call your financial institution.
Immediately.
Yes.
Okay, as soon as you know. All right, so we got about 6 minutes left on this interview, and I wanted to give you guys an opportunity to kind of instruct our audience and answer or let them know the things that we haven't asked you yet.
I would say that the most important thing that everybody needs to remember is, I've said it before, that your financial institution will never ask for your username and password. No matter how much fraud software we have on our side to detect these things and to keep you protected and safe, we cannot take the human element out of it. So if we can keep your online banking safe, we can keep your money safe. But if you give access to it in that way, it makes it really hard for us to continue to protect it. The other thing is pause. Just take a breath whenever you receive those. The most important thing is for you not to act out of haste. Don't worry. They're going to tell you that you don't have any time. You have all the time in the world as long as you haven't done anything. You have plenty of time. Serena, did you have anything to add?
I agree with you. And I just think it's as soon as you find out, you definitely need to contact your financial institution, because sometimes there's timelines too on how long you have to dispute things. So you want to make sure you take care of that really quickly. And like Heather said, don't be embarrassed. No. It happens all the time, just sad to say. So don't be embarrassed to let somebody know.
So why is Communication Federal Credit Union so interested in this topic? Like when you guys come, that's pretty much all we ever talk about.
It's the most popular topic, I would say. First of all, the stories are exciting. They're fun to tell, but I don't talk to anybody in my life that has not been touched by this. And all of the financial institutions are experiencing this with their customers and their members. We have groups of financial institution employees that get together each month in the metro area and talk about what's the latest scam, who's the latest scammer. What can we do? We're trying to put our heads together to figure out what can we do to stop this? What can we do better? Because when we ask all the questions, people become uncomfortable. They don't want, they feel like their privacy is being, violated by us asking, why are you spending your money in this way? So trying to find better ways to approach that so that it's not so, abrasive. It doesn't cause more harm or more emotional damage. We just want to do the best we can, because this can be a life-changing thing for some people.
Oh, absolutely.
People that lose their entire retirement because they get caught up in something and it goes on for so long. I've seen them drain their retirement accounts entirely.
Oh, wow.
Under the guise of an investment that's better than what they're doing now. So
I feel a level of emotion and caring in both of you. Does that permeate the leadership of Communication Federal Credit Union?
100%. Yes. We're always talking about it. We're always trying to find ways to get the message out to the community. We've even come up with a little scam Oh, his name is Conmillion the Chameleon. We put little examples of the scams in a story written by this chameleon that, it's kind of cute. People enjoy reading it, but, we'll put the latest and greatest and most exciting, here's what happened. Don't let it happen to you, and push those out to our members so that they have real life examples.
So we've talked about various things like that, resources. How would our listeners that are listening right now access those?
They can access them. There's a fraud section on our website, and they can access those stories there.
Okay. All right. And if they wanted to book a training for a Sunday school class or something?
Yes, they can call the credit union and just let them know that they're interested. Or there's a place on our website as well where you can go in and just put in that you would like to talk to someone to come about coming out to your either place, your church or school or senior center or business to talk to someone. And they'll get you in contact with us.
And what's your website?
It's comfedcu.org.
2 M's or just one?
One.
So
COMFEDCU.org.
comfedcu.org. And do they call, if they were to call, they're just their local branch, or they call the headquarters? Or
yeah, they can just contact their local branch and they'll get them in contact with us.
All right, very good. Well, wrapping it up here, Quentin, do you have any other questions? We got about 30 seconds.
Not that we can discuss in 30 seconds, no.
Okay, well, this has been really good, and I hope everyone listening will take a minute and just remember some things, reviewing our conversation. Perhaps the number one thing, you correct me if I'm wrong, pause, right? Take a breath.
Yep.
Nothing is that urgent. You guys agree?
Yes.
I agree.
Okay, very good. So the next time somebody calls you like that, remember to do that. And I'll remind myself the next time I see a shiny object that the algorithm wants me to see, I'm going to take a pause as well. And so thank you, Heather Converse and Serena Campbell with Communication Federal Credit Union, for being with us today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Betcha. Thank you, Quentin. Thank you, Donna, for running sound. And thank you all for listening. And we'll see you next time.
We hope you enjoyed this special edition of Encounter here on Bott Radio Network. Email us with any questions or comments to kqcv@bottradionetwork.com.